What up, boys? Welcome to week 9 of the League of Legends and Jesse 2017 league this year. First of all, I got to give you some intro music, and it's what we do. We're going to go with Just a Dream by Nelly as we look at the standings here. We got Luckbox and Maga at the top, both 7-1. Both teams that have a whole boatload of points. It's going to be difficult for anyone in this league to catch them, including Shake and Bake, to get a bye. Certainly like the spots that those teams are in. Some other teams here that I kind of like where they are. Mighty Midget's schedule sets up pretty well for them. Took a look at it. I got to like him to get in the playoffs. Aside from that, it's going to be wild, man. It's going to be absolutely insane, the teams that are going to get in there. A lot of teams that have somewhat similar point totals. My team included, I actually like where my team's at right now. I've kind of gotten unlucky the last few weeks, really. I'm starting to play a little bit better, but just running into some buzzsaws. But yeah, you can see the standings there. Take a look. Remember, points matter. I say that over and over again. As far as things that happened this week in the league, not a ton. The trade deadline, just keep that in mind, is going to be next week. It says Wednesday, November 8th. I'll push that back until at least the 9th, just because there's not football until Thursday, so the 8th doesn't really make sense to me. So my guess is the trade deadline will be on the 9th. Let me know your thoughts on that. You want to hit me up. Free agent, pretty much this week, kind of quiet. You had a couple trades went down. Kelvin Benjamin got traded. I don't know. Carolina just doesn't want to have anyone to throw the ball to, I guess, is their goal. Continue to throw the ball for 3 yards to Christian McCaffrey, because that's really worked out well for them. And then Jay Ajayi going to Philly is a big trade. I mean, that Philadelphia team, what a cool story that would be. If they could really make a serious run. Just notice, pay attention to the message board there. Jason is shopping Zach Ertz, who has been the most consistent tight end in the history of fantasy and football this year. Dude has had a fantastic year. Here is your preview board. And one thing to just remind everyone of is make sure that you set your lineups going forward. We've had some issues with that, so I will address those. Those are not being ignored. And a couple teams probably haven't set their exact lineups this week, but we will go through. I'll talk about at least the important matchups. Starting with mine, as I always kind of do here. Notice this week I actually have a pretty good projection. Gray has not put his entire team in yet. I will make sure I text him and make sure that happens here. Make sure he gets a full team in. He's been unlucky, but you got to continue to play. And my team, I think my projections might be a little high this week. I'm not playing Jonathan Stewart. That will likely be get a toss Devontae Parker back in there. I'm excited about that. Very much excited about that. But I think my team may be a little over projected here, to be honest. 110 might be a little beyond what we're capable of. I probably will play Matthew Stafford over Jameis Winston. Jameis I think he's a little banged up, and I actually think New Orleans defense is pretty good. Places on the road. I don't know that I need to throw Winston out there and have him get hurt and give me a 2.4. So my running backs I really like them. Ingram, Miller. I'm gonna have to get lucky to get in the playoffs, but if I lose again here, I'm gonna look to make a trade. Just to give me some more keeper options. I'm not going to do anything lopsided, but I like where my team is right now. So I will never pick me to win, but I like where my team is. As we transition here to the Butt Buddies against the Mighty Midgets, and I'll just spend a little bit of time on this one. I want to let you know we are brought to you this week by Diet Mountain Dew. They actually reached out to me, said they watch the show every week, and they wanted to sponsor the show alongside, obviously, the Tesler, Adler, and Whalen law firm, the people who do things for good people and bad people, preferably bad people, because they can charge them more money. But if you need a divorce, if you need to kill someone, you need to hide a body, you would like to do drugs while driving and under the influence of the purple drink, hit them up. Trampus Whalen can help you this week and every week. So you get crazy this weekend, just hit up Tesler, Adler, Whalen, Evans. They'll take good care of you. Mighty Midgets is, like I said, his schedule just has really fallen pretty well for him this year. This week, though, I think the Butt Buddies they don't have a full team in there yet. Adams found a way to get wins this year, and he's kind of gotten unlucky with his running backs. Notice he's got some bye week players there. But I tell you what, this is just it's kind of a goofy little matchup, to be honest with you. I don't know exactly what it means for the league. Danny sent a lot of his players to Mark and Trampus. So, he's not necessarily planning to win. Funchess will get a little bit of a bump with Benjamin out. But I think Adam will put together enough of a roster to get a win. And Adam quietly, once again, last year got third in the league. Quietly is going to be 6-3 and going to make the playoffs. Especially if he gets a win this week, Adam. I think you're in the playoffs. You're going to win this week, my friend. Antonio Brown's bye week, and this was going to come for Luke. This is going to be a sad, sad time for Luke McClung. And, he's got Deshaun Watson, the number one player in fantasy football this year. Not really a question about that. The MVP of the fantasy football season, a 16th round keeper against the Indianapolis Colts. So certainly we know what is going to happen in that. It will not be pretty at all. It'll be illegal. It'll be similar to what Adam's team did to Tyler's last week, just a complete trashing. Joe Mixon, at some point, maybe it could happen. Tevin Coleman, kind of doing what he does. Gets you about 8 a lot of times, it seems like. Yeah, in that ballpark. Pretty good guess by me. But without Antonio Brown, Luke's going to count on a guy like Robbie Anderson, who's been a high touchdown guy actually this year, surprisingly. A bunch of touchdowns. So, maybe see some volume there in Buffalo. It's tonight's game, I believe. Jets-Buffalo. Won't be watching that one. Unless Jason's watching. Jason, hit me up if you want to watch the game. Nathan sucks D's nuts. Again, Pat having a pretty good year. And Will Fuller's catch-to-touchdom rate is absolutely insane. He scores a touchdown. Let's see. We can just add him up here real quick. He has, 13 catches and 7 touchdowns. So you can do the math. That's not sustainable at all. But Pat's running pretty good this year, really. He lost Jordy Nelson when Aaron Rodgers went down, but he's finding a way that his running backs is popping into the backfield, doing a lot of things in the passing game. LaShawn has stayed healthy somehow, which we all know that's probably going to change. Be careful with LaShawn McCoy if you have him in other leagues. He can't get the ball 30 times a week and stay healthy. It will not happen. And then Derrick Henry. So, I like Pat. I like Pat in this game. I like Pat to get to 4-5, and he's having a really good year. Here's a shake and bake at Luckbox. Jesse, no one knows how, but he's continuing to win. He's a masterful manager. Speaking of masterful managing, this week he will face the Adam Foster team without Le'Veon Bell and Tom Brady. So, Jesse's very good at scheduling. And this week he will play Kirk Cousins at. Don't do that, Jesse. He's going to play Kirk Cousins at Seattle. Okay. He's going to play Aaron Jones and Alex Collins, Michael Crabtree, Alshon against Denver. That's bold move. Nick O'Leary, who I like. I like Nick O'Leary. You get into a little DFS action. I haven't really done much yet, but he's been garbage. This is an interesting team you've put together here to go up against Mr. Luckbox. Golden Tate, everyone's favorite sub-30 receiver, doing what he does this year, ranked 32. This is an interesting spot, and I don't want to make it my lock of the week because it's too obvious, but Jay, you get a win this week, and truly you are even more my hero than you already are. Adam's rolling Drew Stanton out. That's how afraid he is in this matchup. Kareem Hunt hadn't been in the end zone in like a month and a half, but still get it done. Still the number one. See, that's incredible. Still the number one running back, despite not getting in the end zone for 5 games in a row there. Devonta Freeman, he's got to get right at some point. He's slowed down quite a bit here, but that Atlanta offense, I just don't know. It's really hard to go to the Super Bowl, lose, and then come back the next year and do it again. I mean, it's happened to lots of teams in the past. Thinking specifically of Carolina, they had that season where they go 15-1 or whatever, and then lose the Super Bowl, and then they're terrible the next year. Hard to keep those pieces in place sometimes. Michael Thomas is a guy Adam's kind of waiting on to really go off. He's been very, very quiet this year, ranked 28th overall as a receiver. So Adam's team, I think he'd like to see a couple of his studs go in the right direction because I think on paper it looks better than it's actually been. But he continues to get production from two of his guys, and DeAndre Hopkins is just balling real hard. So like Adam in this matchup, both of these teams will make the playoffs. So good job, guys, on managing your teams this season. We have Simply Simple Squad. This is Kelsey Johnston's team, and they will play the Lollipop Guild this week, led by Jason Stuffle, who, by the way, is running a full marathon this Saturday, boys. So, first of all, Jason, truly with no sarcasm or jerk undertones in this, dude, you've done a great job in training for your marathon, and good luck, do well, and I hope that I can get down there and support you a little bit, entertaining the soon-to-be brother-in-law. By the way, that's not my brother, but my brother's not marrying a man. My sister-in-law is marrying a man. Entertaining him, but we're going to try to get down and support you. Good luck, and make sure you stay hydrated. And, great job, man. Already we're proud of you. The commitment that you've made to your fitness is truly inspirational, or should be, to other individuals. So Lollipop Guild and Simply Simple Victory here. A couple teams that really need a win. I don't think that this is a play-in game. But I do think that if Jason were to lose here, things would become very difficult, and he would kind of be in the boat that I'm in, where he cannot afford anything else to go wrong. What I think matchup is going to come down to here is when I look at Tyler's team this week. And again, Tyler has a pretty decent team, but I see a couple guys who really make me nervous. One of those is T.Y. Hilton, and listen to a lot of stuff this week. Some people were saying you can almost straight drop T.Y. Hilton, which I think is maybe a little crazy, but you just look at him and it's 1.9, 2.7, 1.5. At what point do you stop even looking to T.Y. Hilton? Very difficult, for somebody like that to roll him out there. Marshawn and T.Y. are guys for Ty's team that I just don't see a really high ceiling and a safe floor for either of those players. And then what I think will have to happen for Simply Simple to get a win here is I predict a Carson Wentz to Nelson Aguilar, Tubby time will have to occur. And in the no-fly zone there, even at home against Denver, a team that's reeling. But Denver can't score. I don't, this week, unless he gets like a 35-point Todd Gurley game, which could happen, I just don't see the ceiling on Tyler's matchups or the reason for the ceiling with Carson Wentz playing against a Denver team that just can't score, but still has a pretty good defense. And then look over here at Tyler. Drew Brees at home against Tampa, a smash spot. This is Jason's team. DeMarco Murray, a guy he traded for. His boy Dougie McBuckets, gonna get those touches, maybe those tubbies. And then, he's got Kelvin Benjamin in a new spot tonight. Maybe give him some interest in watching the game. And then, Larry Fitz, is really not playable, but, Jason will roll him out there. Drew Stanton, not awful, I guess. I don't hate Larry this week. Alvin Kamara, he's got a couple pieces in that New Orleans game. So I like Jason in this matchup this week to get to 4-5. What do we still need to analyze here? Did I get to all of them? Shake and bake, we got it. I like the luck box there. D's nuts, like him to win this week. Mighty Midgets. I actually don't want to pick myself, but I do like the spot I'm in. Oh, we got to do Make America Gronk again. Man, this is a long show this week. What am I doing? I'm trying to get the exit music ready. Not prepared, guys. It is low quality this week. Next week I'll bring it hard. Maybe I'll make a PowerPoint. I've been swamped. I can't prep. Got class here in like 20 minutes. Not really ready. But anyway, we got a minute and 12 to run through this here. Cam Newton lost his best pass. Let me just break down Trampus's team. I think we all think he's going to win. Let me just break him down going forward into the future. Oh, by the way, this is now Trampus, Mark, and Danny's team. So Danny sent over most of his playable guys to this team. So added Mike Evans to the mix, Amari Cooper, Christian McCaffrey. They threw over a good keeper, so it is what it is. Christian McCaffrey starting this week for them, and I think Kelvin leaving does boost McCaffrey a little bit. Leonard Fournette, probably the best running back in the NFL going forward, including David Johnson and Zeke. I mean, he's just a freak. He's really good, and he's going to lead this team. Leonard's going to be the guy that, if Make America Gronk again is going to take down a title, is going to be led by one Lenny Fournette. Good luck this week to everybody. Just continuing to break down the Gronk team here. Remember, they do have Gronk, which is helpful. Not this week because he's out. Tossing in Vernon Davis. I like Vernon Davis as a tight end, even when Reed plays. Hey, good luck this week, guys. Deuces.